Hello everyone, welcome to the ITLS Academy. Today we are going to discuss the topic that is your composition and nutritive value of milk. So today we are going to discuss about composition and nutritive value of milk. So here the content that we are going to discuss, first of all we are going to see the definition of the food, then we are going to see the composition of the food, then after that we are going to see the nutritive value of the milk, and then after that we are going to see the environmental and biological factors of the composition of milk. So first of all what we are going to see, we are going to see the definition of the milk, then we are going to composition of the milk. Okay, then after that we are going to see the nutritive value of the milk, and after that at the end we are going to see the biological and the environmental factor which affect the composition of the milk. So milk are what? Milk, we all know that simply the milk are defined as a white color white color liquid. Okay, if we see in a layman or a common language. So milk, what? Milk can be defined as a whole, clean, fresh lactose secretion obtained by the complete milking of one or more healthy milk animal. Okay, it is fluid that obtained within a 15 days before or after 5 days after calving. Okay, so basically milk have all the nutrition that we required, okay, that the body are required, and it can be obtained by a mammary gland. Okay, now it is what? It is the whole green fresh lactose secretion, and they are white color liquid, and it is obtained by a complete milking of one or more healthy milk animal. Now the composition of the milk. See, the composition of the milk are totally depend upon the species of the milk. Okay, either we get the milk from a buffalo, either we get the milk from a cow, either we get the milk from the goat. So the composition are divided into water, fat, protein, lactose and ash. If we see the water content in buffalo is about 84.2%. Fat concentration is 6.6%. Protein concentration is about 3.9%. Lactose about 5.2%. And ash is about 0.8%. And now the second species is cow, whose water content is about 86.6%. Fat is about 4.6%. Protein is about 3.4%. Lactose is about 4.9% and ash is about 0.6%. Now the next species is goat, whose water concentration is about 86.5%, fat is about 4.5%, protein is about 3.5%, lactose is about 4.7% and the ash is about 0.8%. This is the composition of the milk which are depend upon the species of the it totally depend upon the species. Now constitute of the milk. Milk contain a protein. Okay, so the protein which are present in the milk are present in a colloidal state. Okay, and the important protein which are present in the milk are casein and whey protein. Okay, casein and whey protein, we all know that this casein and whey protein are the important protein of the milk, important protein of the milk, and they are present in a colloidal state. Okay, now we are first of all we are going to discuss about the casein. The total contribution of the casein is about 80%. Okay, and they are a major protein. It is present in a milk in a colloidal state that we already discussed, and in the form of calcium caseinate phosphate complex. Okay, so this casein protein are present in the form of calcium caseinate phosphate complex. Okay, the micellar particles of caseins are spherical in nature and exist in milk as a distinct particle. Okay, the particles of the milk, the particles of the caseins are spherical in shape and they exist in a milk in a distinct particles. Okay, each micelles of the casein is bridged with a various submicelles. Okay, each micelle, suppose this is a micelles, and each micelles are linked with a various submicelles. Okay, or you can say that the branch of the micelles. This submicelles within a casein micelles are held together by a calcium phosphate. Okay, so there is a bond between the micelles and the submicelles, and this is formed by a calcium phosphate by a ester linkage with a serine hydroxyl group. Okay, so this is about the casein. The next is your whey protein. Whey protein are either present in the form of lactoalbumin or globulalbumin fraction, and these two protein together form about 1/8 of the total protein of the milk and are described as a soluble protein. Okay, see, we all know that the casein is about 80%, and this uh, whey protein are made up of two type of protein, that is your lactoalbumin and globoalbumin, and together these protein are covered 1/8 of the total protein. Okay, and these proteins are also described as a soluble protein. Both albumin and globulin are soluble in milk whey, but they differ in that why albumin is soluble in water and globulin is insoluble in water but soluble in dilute salt solution. See, here the soluble proteins means that these both protein like your albumin and globulin are soluble in a milk. Okay, that's why we are not distinct it, because it is soluble into a milk, but this albumin is also soluble in a water, and this globulin is soluble into a salt solution. Okay, now the next one is your the next most abundant whey protein present in the milk is alpha lactoalbumin. Okay, this alpha lactoalbumin is present after a B lactoglobulin, and it is rich in a human milk. Okay, both this albumin and globulin possess a high nutritive value and supply all type of essential amino acid. Okay, so the next one is your immunoglobulin. Globulin of milk blood are identical. It colostrum and milk both are present, but the globulin in the form of immunoglobulin is found in much higher amount in colostrum. Okay, now come to the next slide. Non-protein nitrogenous substance. Okay, so there are some non-protein nitrogenous substances are also present. Okay, and these non-protein nitrogenous substance are not a true protein. Okay, and their amount is about 5%. Okay, the total nitrogen found in milk. So there are popularly referred. So there are some popular non-protein nitrogenous substances which are present in a milk are amine, example ethanol, amine, choline. The next is your amino acid, example some free amino acids such as lysine, leucine, etc. Amino acid derivatives like your keratin and keratinine. Other compound like morphine and milk oligosaccharide. Okay. After that, enzymes are also present. Okay, enzymes are also present like your organic catalyst, which bring some complex chemical reaction, but themselves they do not enter in a chemical changes. We all know that these enzymes are used to catalyze the reaction, but they cannot alter the chemical changes. They are colloid and proteinous, and they are classified as per chemical changes they bring about, such as hydrolase, hydrolyzing enzyme, oxidase, oxidizing enzyme, reductase, reducing enzyme. Okay, so they are also classified on the type of substrate they attack. Like if it attack in a protein, then it is called a protease. And if it attack into a fat, then it is called a lipase. If it attack into a starch, then it is called a amylase. Now come to the next slide. Milk carbohydrate. So there are carbohydrates are also present in a milk, and the principal or main sugar which is present in a milk is lactose. Okay, and it is present around 4.8 to 5.0%. And after that there are some traces about bond carbohydrates are also present. Human milk are the rich source of this lactose and another carbohydrate, that is your oligosaccharide. Milk, human milk is about contains 6.37% of milk, 6.3 to 7.0% of lactose and 0.3 to 0.6% of oligosaccharide. These lactose are what? They are structurally lactose which consists glucose and galactose. Okay, they are monosaccharides. Sorry, they are disaccharides which contain these two monosaccharides, that is your glucose and galactose, and their molecules bond together form a lactose molecules. Okay, these glucose and galactose form a molecules, and these molecules are called what? They are called lactose. Okay, we all know that lactose is a disaccharide because it is made up of two types of monosaccharide, that is your glucosaccharide and glycosaccharide. When we hydrolyze these lactose, okay, then we require the enzyme that is called a enzyme lactase. Okay, and these enzyme lactase are present in a small intestine which split the lactose into a glucose and galactose. Okay, when we drink the milk, then there is an enzyme present in a small intestine which split this lactose into their monosaccharides, that is your glucose and galactose. Okay, these lactose also have lactose is a reducing sugar. Why it is called a reducing sugar? Because there is a presence of free aldehyde group. There is a presence of free aldehyde group. Okay, that's why it is called a reducing sugar. And this lactose are also insoluble in alcohol, ether, but they are soluble in a hot acidic acid. So this is very important in the on the point of MCQs, that these lactose are insoluble in alcohol and ether, but it is soluble in a hot acidic acid, not normal acidic acid. Here the acidic acid should be hot. Now come to the next slide. Milk fat. Okay, so in milk the fat is present in the form of fat globules. Okay, we all know that this fat globules are the form of the fat, and the size of these fat globules are for around a 3 micron. Okay, and this fat are distributed throughout the aqueous phase, and it is form a oil in water type emulsion. Okay, now the fat which is present in a milk is triglyceride, phospholipids, sterol, free fatty acid, waxes, squalens, fat soluble vitamins like vitamin A, E, D, K. Okay, so location, this triglyceride are present in a fat globules. These phospholipids are present in a fat globules and membrane and serum. These sterol are present in a fat globule, FGM and syrup. Free acids are present in a fat globules and serum. Waxes, squalens and fat soluble vitamins are present in a fat globules. So the main fat, the main fat, all type of the fats are present in where? It is present in a fat globule, but the size of the fat globule is around only 3 micron. Now come to the next slide. Milk salt. So there is a salt are also present in milk, which represented by a non-combustible matter, and it is known as a ash. Okay, these ash are generally consist of the minerals which is present in a milk, okay, and their percentage is around 0.7%. The ash content is normally constant in milk. Higher the value indicate an abnormal condition of the mammary gland. Okay, so the percentage of the milk is around 0.7%, and this percentage is constant in the milk. If the value is higher than a 0.7%, then there should be some defect in a mammary gland, or some disease occur in a mammary gland. Sodium, see, this is the minerals which are present in the milk: sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, chloride, sulfate, carbon dioxide, citrus. Okay, and the amount is like 50 milligram of sodium, 145 milligram of potassium, 120 milligram of calcium, 13 milligram of magnesium, phosphorus 90 milligram, 100 milligram of chloride, sulfate around 10 milligram, carbon dioxide around 20 milligram, and citrus is around 175 milligram. Now come to the next slide. Milk vitamins. We all know that in a milk, fat soluble and insoluble both type of vitamins are present. That is your, if we talk about the fat soluble vitamin, then it is ADEK, and water soluble, that is your B complex, vitamin C or ascorbic acid. We all know that milk is the good source of vitamins except vitamin C. Okay, there is a small amount of vitamin C are present. Now come to the next slide. Nutritive value of the milk. Okay, we all know that the milk have high content of nutritive value because it contain all types of carbohydrate, protein, enzyme, minerals, and vitamins, etc. Okay, so the nutrient present in the milk and the milk product are present either in the form of carbohydrate, protein, enzyme, minerals, and vitamins. Okay, they do not provide a nutritional diet but also give a energy and meet our day-to-day nutrition need. Okay, so it not only provide us a nutritional diet, but along with the nutritional diet, they also give us the energy and also fulfill our nutritional need which is required for a day-to-day life. Okay, if we consume the milk, then there is some role of the constitute present in the milk, like they help in a growth, they help in a supply of energy, they help in a maintenance of body, they recover us from a disease, they help in a reproduction, or it also help in help to take the reproductive cell system healthy, and it also provide taste and appetite and palatability. Okay, now come to the next slide. This is the nutritive component in a milk and milk product. Okay, it is for 100 gram like whole milk. Here the milk or milk product, here the nutritive value like calories, water, protein, fat, ash, carbon dioxide, calcium per milligram, phosphorus per milligram, and iron per milligram. And this is the product like whole milk, skim milk, evaporated milk, condensed milk, skim milk, butter, buttermilk. Like see, the first one, whole milk. Whole milk is contain around 68 gram of calorie, 68 kilogram of calorie, and it contains 87 gram of water, 3.5 gram of protein, 3.9 gram of fat, and 0.7 gram of ash, 4.9 gram of carbohydrate, 118 milligram of calcium, 93 milligram of phosphorus, and iron is about 0.1 milligram. So this is all the product, all the milk and milk product and their nutritive value. Now come to the next slide. Factor which affect the composition of the milk. Okay, we all know that the composition of the milk are different because it totally depend upon the species from which we get that milk. All milk contains same of constitute but in varying amount. The constitutes are same, okay, but their amounts are changes. Okay, so the first is your species. We all know that each species have their own characteristic of the composition of the milk. Okay, breed, like in general the largest amount of milk yield of a lower fat percentage. Breed producing the larger amount of milk yield of a lower fat percentage. Frequency of milking. Okay, like cow milk 2 times or 3 times or 4 times per day, it has no great effect on the fat taste. Completeness of milking. If cow is completely milked, the taste is normal. If not, it is usually lower. Disease and abnormal condition. If the cow or a buffalo have some disease, then the composition of the milk are not normal from the normal one. Okay, fat percentage in milk is declined slightly as the cow grow older, so that it depend upon the age. Suppose if the age of the cow is not older, they are in younger, then the fat percentage present in the milk should high. Feeding. Okay, this feeding is temporary affect the composition of the milk. Season, administration of drugs and hormone. If suppose some cow have take certain drugs or medicines, so it also temporarily change the fat percentage. In there are some injection or feeding hormones which also increase the yield and fat percentage of the milk. So this is all about the composition and the nutritive value of the milk. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe our channel. If you have any query, just let us know in a comment box. You can also the helpline number which are already mentioned in your account. You can also follow the ITLS Academy on different platforms, that is your Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn. You can also subscribe our channel ITLS Academy from YouTube and also get our app from a Google Play. Thank you so much. If you have any query, just let us know in a comment.